Hello, ladies. Today on the Feminine Confidence Conference, we have Nadja Marks is an award-winning artist, educator, and creative leadership mentor dedicated to helping people reconnect with their authentic voice through art and self-expression. With a BFA, earn how do you pronounce it? Summa cum
Summa.
laude, summa cum laude.
Yeah, summa cum laude, yeah.
Summa cum laude, classical atelier training, and over 2 decades as a professional artist, she blends technical mastery with transformational teaching. Nadia is the founder of Nadia Gallery and Visionaire Art School, where she guides artists and creatives from self-doubt and scarcity into confidence, creative freedom, and authentic abundance through her retreats, workshops, and mentorship. She inspires people to create from the fullness of who they are and bring their unique gifts to the world. Her work is at the forefront of a new paradigm that unites creativity, abundance, and personal transformation. All right, over to you, Nadia.
What do you want to know?
All right, let's see. Um, I guess just share like what confidence means to you.
Confidence, I'm going to just go straight and direct to the most clear um, experience of confidence that I have. Confidence comes from knowing that I am a vessel for the creator to flow through. So when I make it about am I good enough or this and that, like then I'm making it about me. But confidence, true confidence for me comes from knowing that it's not about me at all. I'm just a vessel and a witness, and that the creator, source, life force energy, brilliance, genius, whatever you want to call it, they're all names for the same thing, is coming through my vessel, and I'm a usable vessel for that to flow through. And I derive a lot of confidence from that.
Awesome. Let's see. What would you tell the younger generation, like coming up behind you, like just like what would be your best advice for them? The young women of today and tomorrow.
To ask yourself what what wants to come through you when you're in service. So many of us are seeing things as like it's my bank account and I have to make money and I have to get successful and it's all about I. And it's a really hard road to go on that road. Like I've been a full-time artist and I have worked for myself and I've not gotten another paycheck other than my artistry for 20 years. And so I've done the whole spectrum. I've done the whole like it's about me and how do I look and am I good enough and all I've done that. And it's a much easier road when you say, how can I be of service? And just wanting to give is credential enough. That if you just want to give, you just want to be a giver, that's enough of a credential to start giving and being of service the way that you know is your way. For me, it's painting, but everyone has a different way. For you, Simeon, it seems that your way is supporting women and giving back to their confidence. So, just what's the next step in front of you? You do not, there's no even way to know 12 steps or even 2 steps ahead. It's just the next step. I know that this is like right now, I'm doing this interview. If I thought about how is it going to give to me, how am I going to hit my goals with this and that, it's like that traps us up so much because we make it all about us, and it's scarcity thinking. And when we move into a place of how can I give and how can I serve, and this is not to say like give in a way that other people give, like give in a way that Mother Teresa gives or give in a way that Princess Diana gives, like given the way that you are meant to give. Like for me, that's painting. So what's the thing that's the most fun for you to do? Like Simeon, it seems like the most fun for you is to support women's confidence. Like that seems like it lights you up, right?
hmm Yes.
And so that's where your service is, and you just need to know that, and you just need to know the next step, and you're doing it right now. You're making the summit happen.
hmm Yeah, because I'll tell you from personal experience, like even when you finally figure out like what is my purpose in this life, it's just like the next step moving forward, you're like, it's so scary. I don't know what to do. Like I'm so nervous, and then all the fear starts weighing in. But then I get to remember that it's it's not about me. My vision is much larger than I am, and that I have the privilege of getting out of the way and letting it happen. And yeah, that's just the most powerful thing that I've been witnessing and experiencing lately.
Yes, Simeon, and you're doing it. And it's clear that you're doing it. Energy doesn't lie. We can tell when someone is in service and is thinking from what can I give versus what can I get, right? Like there's that concept of commission breath, like when there's a realtor and you can just tell that he needs to make a sale or she needs to make a sale. And there's this like commission breath, like it doesn't feel good to be needed or desperate in that way. And it actually repels. So anytime we're doing something and we're doing it from that place of what can I get from the person in front of me, it's repelling. It's a repulsive quality. And it doesn't mean that you're or anybody is repulsive or the person is repulsive. It just means that they get to shift to think about being a giver because that's a very magnetic quality.
Mhm. Yeah, being in service, like yeah, that's the most powerful thing.
Yeah.
Not what
Also,
I can get, but what I get to give.
yeah, there's a really great book about it for people to check out. It's called Go Giver, and it's a red book and it's a short book and it's really easy to read. And it's all about the paradigm shift between like the go-getter, like trying to get,
Mm.
and the go-giver. And the book shows examples of the most successful people in our world were thinking in terms of what can I give? Like that's how they got successful.
Yeah. And I'm learning that, yeah, like the thing that, the thing that I'm called to do seems the scariest to actually do. It's like, okay, I could totally do this easy, sure, let me do that. But it's like, oh, no, the scary thing is the one that you've been thinking about for years. And you're just like, oh, one day I'll do that. Like that, in my experience, that is your calling. And yeah, it's as scary as I don't know what to do, but very fulfilling at the same time. And I wouldn't have it any other way.
Right. That's right. I mean, even look at Moses from the Bible, like or the Torah, he came upon the burning bush and he's like, look, I've got a stutter. I am a sinner. I've done all, like it says, there's like these texts that Moses did all of the sins possible before he was asked to be at the burning bush. Like we think of him as like this great saint, but he did all of it. And so he came to the burning bush, and the burning bush is like, you're going to be the ones to emancipate all of the Jews from Egypt. And he's like, no, 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 no. No, that's not me. I've got a stutter. It's not going to work, and it's just not going to work. And look at what he did. He was that one. It was the calling, and it was the one that was definitely the edgiest and scariest possible. I think
Mhm.
about that a lot. I think about that because we all have little burning bush moments where it's like clarity of like this is your path. You know that. You know that it is. Even if it's weird, like especially if it's weird. That's it's those kind of unique asks that come to us that we get to pay attention to.
Mhm. Yeah, absolutely. Like I never would have looked from the past into the future like, oh yeah, I want to be a broadcaster. No one, there's no way. But like just seeing like the service and the confidence boost it gives to women, like it I'm without words, and it's just so fulfilling to see and actually be able to gift that gift of confidence and relief and like joy and just for women to be able to and be present in their lives and not have that constant pain or always dealing with those falling straps and just being present in the present moment and actually being able to fully focus on their family, their friends, their lives. And yeah, so like it's scary as me as a guy doing this, but at the same time, like it's just one of the best ways to elevate a woman's confidence. And like, yeah, it's just yeah, that's it. And the
And
scary thing is the best thing.
yeah, and I'm just thinking about a few years from now, like when you're not even a few years, just soon. And you're talking about it, and maybe there's a movie about your life, and maybe there's like podcast episodes about you, and you get to say, I was a bra fitter, and it made no sense to anybody. And it's like, what is this guy doing that? But it's gonna be such a fun story to tell, and it's gonna be such a memorable story.
Hmm. Yeah. Scary thing is the best thing.
It is, yeah. And you just know. You know because you know. That's all that you need to know.
Yeah. The next step is because like me just always like just thinking it's like, oh man, have to have it all figured out. Like I have to know what to say. No, you don't have to know what to say. Just living that next step, next
Yeah,
step, next step, next step. It's like, okay, I see this is what I get to do, and then stepping into that, and then it's like, oh, and then that next step after that pops up, and then we just keep taking those next steps until we're living all that we dreamed.
that's it. Yeah. Today I was talking to a student and from a previous leadership class, and she said the word I don't know about 20 times within three a 3 minute share. I was like, sounds like you really don't know. And I said, the what's popping up for me is not that you don't know, it's that I'm hearing that you're making that wrong, that you don't know. And her whole body just like she's been making herself wrong for not knowing. And I said, what do you know? And she's like, that I should write some emails and send some things. I'm like, no, that does not sound like you want to do that at all. What do you want to do? And she's like, I want to go for a long drive. Like I just want to go and drive around it. And I'm like, do you know that? And she said, yeah, I know it. But she wasn't letting herself acknowledge that because her mind was like, you should write emails, you should da da da. But when she goes for that ride, she's gonna meet someone and that's gonna unlock her whole destiny. So we just get to do the thing that we know that lights us up, not the should. The should is, I've been studying the should for a long time. It's a very tricky one. It's a very tricky because the should basically says, you know that burning bush? Let's go a different way than that. And the burning bush is like, all right, I'll just come over there and meet you over there then.
Yeah. Like when we think about, just like Moses as a person, like previously before that, like he had murdered a guy to, like save his fellow Israelite, but like, according to the law, like he was a murderer. And
Yeah,
so like, yeah, so like, according to human knowledge, we're all like, oh yeah, like God can't use a murderer, like he sinned, like end of story. But God is all like, I know you, I love you despite your failures and sins, and that doesn't disqualify you from your calling.
that's right. That's right. Yeah. And how many of us write ourselves off? I would say this is the number one cause of the opposite of confidence.
Mhm.
The opposite of confidence in my experience is shame. So the number one cause of shame is that I've internalized what I did and I will continue to perpetuate punishment on myself because I think that I deserve it for what I did. And we see that in the prison. We see that in prison. Like there's a culture in Africa, and they have this beautiful practice. It's the opposite of what we do in prison in America. And it's this practice where if someone sins or does something bad, they put them in the center of the society and they all walk around them and they sing the song that person's song. And where does the song come from? The song comes when a woman is ready to conceive a child, she hears a song and she starts teaching it to the man that's going to be the father. And they sing the song when the child is born. They sing the song when the child goes through all major landmarks of its life, when it gets married, when the person dies, they sing that person's song. And so they sing the song when the person sins or does something bad. They circle around that person and sing their song. And it's like, remember who you are. Instead of in this culture, we send them to jail, and that keeps perpetuating the shame that they're already living with. It doesn't elevate and escalate and ascend out of the shame, it just perpetuates the shame. Yes, you're a sinner. Yes, you're bad. Yes, you're bad. Like, that's cancel culture. What about redemption? What about Moses, who killed somebody and he still was the one to save an entire population of people? So imagine the confidence that comes when we don't just continue to drive the knife into ourselves from what we think we've done, but I mean, forgiveness is the most powerful force. And one really beautiful way of forgiving is the Ho'oponopono prayer. Have you ever heard of it?
No.
It's, I'm sorry, thank you, I love you. Wait, please forgive me, I'm sorry, thank you, I love you. It's four parts. Please forgive me, I'm sorry, thank you, I love you. And you can say those four parts just on repeat. There's a lot of songs if you look it up on Spotify. Um, it's it's a Hawaiian prayer, ho o pono pono. And you can just type it into Google and it's going to come up those four parts and songs that you can sing. And you can sing those songs to yourself. You can sing those lines. You can sing it to yourself and forgive yourself. You can forgive other people. Like forgiveness is an emancipating force, and that's where confidence comes from, is when we're emancipated from mental slavery.
Yeah. It makes me think of I was in this leadership training, and like the most powerful thing for me, like, was, well, not, of course, forgiving my family, but whenever I cried was whenever I kept rehearsing to myself, I forgive you, Simeon. And just hearing that in my own ears was so relieving and like freeing. Just, like letting go of my past sins, failures, and um like regrets and everything, and just saying, okay, from this moment forward I live forward, like, I'm gonna mess up again, of course, but I forgive myself, I move forward, and keep moving forward.
Simeon, if we don't do that, then we're basically trying to have confidence on top of a shit scoop. If we don't forgive ourselves and release like the pus inside of that, then we're just building, it's like putting lipstick on a pig or like putting makeup on like a balloon. Like it's not true confidence. And true confidence comes from feeling that you are forgiven by yourself, by God, and then living from that space of forgiveness and creating from that space of forgiveness. Because
Yeah.
hurt people, right? So if we're constantly hurting ourselves, we're going to be hurting others in small little ways. Hurt people hurt people. Energy can't be created or destroyed. So energy, if I'm feeling the energy of shame and self-loathing, then that energy is going to have to go into my actions because it can't be destroyed. I can't nullify it. The only way to nullify it is to alchemize it or transmute it or transform it, which is why we've done transformation um, containers, like transformation programs, because it can transform from self-loathing, doubt, shame. It can transform into forgiveness gratitude, grace. And that's where you can actually allow yourself to be usable by God because you're not hiding from God. You know, in the Garden of Eden, Adam and Eve were like cast out from the Garden of Eden, so called. This is just the story. This is the story. So when we think that we've been cast out, then we're not allowing God to use us because we're like hiding from God. Like, you punished me, and now we're hiding. We're not usable. So the best way to be usable by God is to be like, okay, I was never cast out. I know that you love me no matter what. I know that you allowed that to happen. Whatever that sin was, God allowed that to happen. Otherwise, it wouldn't have happened. And we allow ourselves to be usable, and we allow ourselves to exude true confidence.
Yeah, because yeah, you can go ahead.
Who? Me?
Oh yeah.
Go ahead. Unless you unless you had a question, this can just be a conversation.
Yeah, I was gonna say something, but I kind of lost it.
That's all right. That happens. What if we all just forgave each other and just allowed each other to be free?
Mm,
It's definitely easier said than done, but that's the way that's the path to that's the path to experience beauty in life. And that's the path that nourishes our soul.
mm, mm.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah, go ahead.
How did you get into bra fitting?
Mm. Yeah, that's a good one. Cause like I always in like 2018, like I would always have these conversations with my mom, about modesty and everything. So like, oh man, like I remember like the first time I noticed like camel toe, and then saying like talking to my mom about it. It's like, man, it's like, do they know? It's like, do you tell them? And like just having that burden for like the women around me, and like my sisters, like seeing them, it's like, okay, it's easy for guys, we just pull our pants up and we're good, we're modest, we're covered. But for women it's so much harder because like everybody is shaped differently, and just because this is modest on this woman, it doesn't necessarily work on this woman here. And just seeing, it's like, well, it's like that's a lot more complicated. And it's like, man, I want to do something to help women with that. And then my mom, she was like, yeah, she's like, God said like what you come up with would be a course. And so like going, just from there, and like in like 2022, like it's like, okay, like learning about the different wardrobe malfunctions and everything. And then I learned that many of them come from an ill-fitting bra. So like I was like, okay, I see that, let me learn more about bra fitting. So then I found like a bra fitting instructor. Well, back then she was just like teaching, like she had like the one for bra wearers and like how like everything should fit and everything. But later she came out with like the fitters course. And then, I was like, okay, let me, like learn, like take this and learn it. And then it became, oh wow, like I get to be a bra fitter. And so like, no, so like what? This has not been done. There are like male bra fitters, just like very like few of them. I didn't know that at the time. So I was like, what? Me as a bra fitter? Like this makes no sense. And then getting the confirmation, like my mom, she's like, oh, I'm right here with you in this, and we'll do this together. So I was like, oh wow, it's like God and like my mom are right here with me together. So like this is confirmation that I get to move forward in this. And then, so in like 2024, like Shanda's Puerto Rico mastermind, like I learned, because like before then like, I always had my photography business and then like the modesty stuff I was doing on the side. And then like in the mastermind, like it's like, wait, no, this vision is one and the same. 'Cause like that's what photographers do is help people look their best. And
Mm.
so I get to use my photography skills and bra fitting and then, like all the other skills that I will be learning in the future to, elevate women's confidence and be that shining light in like what looks best on this body type and like, really like digging into the details of like what it looks like to be modest with this body type, this body type, this body type, and like what does and doesn't work. And like really just, being that guiding light. Because as a leader, I get to give what I came to get. And like that's like been the most powerful thing for me because like I was always lacking in confidence and everything and seeing my sisters and everything like going through like the shame and the comparison and the just self-doubt and all the stuff that comes with like like being a teen and growing up and like even especially like being a teen woman like there's societies telling you how to live and then you have your parents and your friends. It's all conflicting messaging and like you don't really know who to listen to or where to go and just being one more voice of wisdom to like really be like a guiding light into like this is what it looks like and this is how to live and how to dress. And yeah, that's it. That's my gift to the world.
You're so lit up by it. I hope that you take that answer that you just did and post that on your social media because that is such a great story.
Yeah.
It's such a great story. I'm so enrolled.
All right. Do you have any more to add, Nadia?
Um, well, I mean, I have more questions for you, but um to add I love how we're coming to confidence from different directions. You're coming from the feeling when clothes really fit you right and support the body. I really appreciate that you're coming from that direction. And I'm just coming from the direction of confidence comes when I really feel like I'm in service to the divine. Like
Mm,
that to me just feels like the best life. Like when I can say that God is my boss and I can just release all the shame and all the doubt and all the self-deprecation and like I used to have very self-deprecating thoughts and over time I've I've just allowed myself to be maybe more intimate with the divine in a way that I have a relationship day to day that lights me up and fulfills me and makes me feel really confident. It makes me feel really in service. So that's how I get to confidence. And I also want to wear clothes that make me feel great. So we're both needed on this bigger
mm.
picture.
Yeah. This true confidence starts within and then comes outward. And yeah, it's just having like one without the other,
Mhm.
but having both is like just like that sweet spot, the power.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I also feel like you're just doing a lot more than you're even aware of. Like I feel like it's so much deeper too than even just yes, it's bra fitting, like that's a fun title, but I feel like
Mhm.
there's something much deeper that you're transmitting to the people that you're interacting with.
Yeah, no doubt. Because, like, just moving forward, like, I've learned a lot about my vision and, like, what it means to fulfill it just in these last few months and everything. And like, even I'm still figuring it out. Like, I've got, the mechanics and everything, but just like, you know, getting the feedback, because of like just starting that, with that first step. And then, that next step, and then, the next one after that just pops up. So you guys are seeing it real time. Like, I don't have it all figured out. Like, who does on this earth? And, that's just it feels scary, but at the same time, it's also comforting at the same time because it's like, you know, everybody you see that it's like, okay, it looks like they have it all together and everything. Like, and people say it's like, wow, you're doing really good, Simeon. It's like, oh, it's like really? It's like I don't feel that way. I feel like I've still got like a long way to go. So yeah, just taking that next step and getting clarity as it comes. Because let's see, a few. I think yeah, it was like literally a year ago, maybe like a year and maybe a month. Like what was revealed to me by the Holy Spirit was wisdom comes in the stillness, but clarity comes from action. So, once you know what to do, then you move forward on it. And then clarity comes as you keep, taking your baby steps until those become, larger strides until it becomes running and then you become unstoppable. Because it um basically a boulder up against a wall won't, it doesn't move forward and it's stuck. But like something that's like much smaller than that at at a super velocity will go through that wall. So it doesn't matter how big you look or like, just outwardly or whatever. Like it matters is like how fast you're moving forward. And the faster you're moving forward, obstacles are no longer an issue.
Yep. And back to the Moses story, right? Like he gets to the sea, but he had so much momentum behind this emancipation that was going on that the sea split. The obstacle literally just split.
Yeah, that's a beautiful example of, you know, moving forward and doing all you can do, and then at the end of the day, it's like, all right, God, I've done everything I can do, and then He actually comes in from our obedience and actually parts the sea for us, and shows us the next step and the next way forward.
That's right. Obedience. I love that. I really love that. And I love that you keep talking about steps because I have this other metaphor that I would like to share, which is that every step that we take it's not like the path is pre-existing and we're walking a path that's pre-existing. We're creating the path under each one of our feet. So every time we take a step, the quantum field literally rearranges itself based on the information of that step. Does that make sense? So
Hmm.
make a step, like here at the summit, you just made a step of this interview. Now your world is rearranging itself based on that step. And it's going to make another step that you didn't have access to before. You didn't even, you just didn't. And so now that we made this step, the next one is going to be informed by this one. And so we're literally creating the path underneath our feet. That really shifted something for me when I learned that about 3 years ago. Because I was thinking I need to like find some path that's like, no, I'm making the path under my feet. And everything that I need for my next step becomes available based on my step. All I need to know is this step because it's going to inform the whole field based on the information I just told it.
Yeah, it all starts with that first step.
Yeah. And we get to trust our feet. Our feet know the way.
Hmm.
Well, I can't wait to see what you've got planned for us humans, women, human women. I can't wait to see because I don't know why, but I keep seeing like a patent or something in your future. Some kind of like patent, like I keep thinking about Sarah Blakely with Spanx. Like she saw that there was a gap and she filled it and now she's a billionaire. So, and she did it all based on giving to women. Like that was her exact same mission.
Yeah. Because uh my original goal was just, oh yeah, just solve camel toe. Like that was my whole focus and everything. Like I've since found like solutions to it and everything. And but like, just taking that first step and then realizing that the next step is it's like, oh wow, this is larger. And then taking that step and it's like, oh wow. And it keeps expanding, which is both scary and encouraging at the same time. And each step we take, it it builds momentum and like muscle to
Yeah,
handle the next step. And like what we can handle becomes greater and greater until like, we're there in our desired future.
that's right. And we never get to the end because we're always about to take another step. Even my friend just passed away, and in her passing away, we all understood that she's just taking another step.
Mm.
There is
Wow.
no there is no final step. Even death is not the final step. She's merely going on to her next step.
Wow, yeah, that's true. That's powerful. The mission is never complete.
It just is. We are divine beings having a human experience, and when we are done with the human experience, we go into soul form, and then we come back into human form if we choose, and we just keep experiencing experience. That's what we're doing. We're the divine experiencing our experience. And we get to have fun. I think that especially in America, we get to have a lot more fun.
Yeah. That's definitely been a harder thing for me is like actually get like taking a step back and, actually enjoying the process of where I am versus, all right, that's done. On to the next step, but actually celebrating myself and actually acknowledging myself for completing this step that I've just completed and then moving forward to the next step, not just because, if you never take a break, you burn out. I've done it. It's not fun. Like we get to rest as well, rest and celebrate, and then move forward.
Not giving ourselves breaks is based on self-punishment. And so if we just forgive ourselves constantly, we have just a constant practice of forgiveness, and surrender, then we can enjoy the process and work that in. Like, for instance, while I'm painting, as I'm painting the painting, I'm listening to music that I love because that helps the painting become the best painting. Versus if we don't celebrate during the act, that would be like me painting a painting and then listening to my favorite music. Like, I'll listen to that music when I'm done with this painting. It's not how it works. The painting's only going to be good because I'm like vibing, you know? So our highest dream, our highest vision is only going to be available to us because we're vibing, because we're enjoying.
Mhm. Yeah, it's all about enjoying the process.
Well, this has been such a beautiful interview, Simeon. Thank you for having me on your summit.
Yeah, it was great having you, Nadia. Do you have a free gift that you would like to offer everyone?
Do you want to know the best free gift that is that I have? I've spent 25 years learning the most quickest path from 0 to 100 being an artist, being a painter. Like from I've never picked up a paintbrush to, oh my God, I can paint anything. I can paint any masterpiece. I can see something and recreate it. Like that whole learning curve that took me 25 years, I've compiled it into 5 hours. It's really even probably 4 hours, and I'm giving it away for free. Like my whole entire art school skills course, I'm giving it for free. So I will link that in you can link it in the
Mm.
summit. Yeah.
Yeah, we will put that in the description below, you guys. All right, you guys, that's it, and I will catch you on the next interview. See you soon.
Bye.
Hello, ladies. Again, here on the Feminine Confidence Conference, I'm your host, Simeon Little, and with me today I have Melissa Windell, and she is a psychic medium trainer who has built her life around following her intuition and having confidence in divine spirit to lead her path. All right, over to you, Melissa.
Over to me.
Mhm.
Perfect. What would you like to know today?
Let's see. I guess starting out, like, what does confidence mean to you?
I feel like there's different layers of confidence. One of the things I love to teach in my program is I call it Temple of Authority. And Temple of Authority is built into four different compartments. The first compartment is your inner authority. So it's really getting connected to what it is that you need and want in any given moment so that you can build the confidence from the reservoir that starts from internal. And then there's external authority. So it's like, what is it that your audience wants? What is it that they're needing? What is it that you are here to deliver? And then there's divine authority. And divine authority is what is spirit? What is great creator? What is your divine channel meant to do here? And when you can plug into all of those and drop into the frequency of what each of those are needing and asking of you, that is where you are grounded into the temple of authority. And once you are grounded in the temple of authority, it just gives you that inner trust and the inner confidence to go and do the big, bold thing, to be brave out into the world.
Hmm. Yeah, because I'm learning myself that yeah, being confident. It doesn't necessarily mean like being confident all the time because there are times I still freak out.
Mhm.
But getting back to, getting back grounded and actually it's like, okay, all right, let me step out on my next step because sometimes I can only ever see the next step.
Mhm.
And like we get to just trust the process and just keep moving and taking that next step every time it appears.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah, that's something I call the wobble, right? Where it's like you're feeling wobbly before you go do the next thing. And truly, it's like, for me, it's just taking that grounding breath to get connected to those different pillars. And something that's always really helped me is when I've lacked confidence is I give it to great creator, great spirit. And I just say, Spirit, I'm feeling insecure right now. Can you buoy my confidence? Can I buoy off of yours? And from there, it's such a beautiful place because your ego drops to the side so your heart can be in the forefront. And then you're just connected to the divine channel. And it's like, okay, like I have confidence in you. I might not have confidence in me, but I have confidence that you're going to take me to where I want to go. And just, because I've been doing psychic readings for 20 years, when I surrender to that place, I'll just say that my readings are actually 10 times better because it's not coming from me. It's like I've just moved myself out of the way and I've gotten connected back to like the divine force at play.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's something have like learning lately, just like getting out of my own way and actually just doing the thing that I know to do, that like that next step,
Mm-hmm.
versus like, oh, like let me not do that because, like what my head is thinking. And just like, yeah, getting back to where, like moving forward on, what I know I'm supposed to do versus like, oh, what will they think, or how will they respond, and just it's just not like listening to all of that, but actually just staying focused on the vision and then just, moving forward.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
All right. So, let's see. In your experience, what are some common barriers that w women face when it comes to building their confidence?
I would definitely say society. I mean, just even thinking about being raised, especially in my generation, it's like we were raised with Barbie dolls that looked a specific dysmorphed body image. And luckily, they've changed the way Barbies look, but it's
it's that, and then you go to the grocery store and they reject any fruit or vegetable that doesn't look perfect in its shape. So it's like we're constantly being built around these areas where it's like everything has to look perfect, like it's constantly in our face subconsciously in every way that we go. And because of that, we create this unconscious programming and belief that we have to look a certain way in order for it to be accepted. And I feel like that's we end up giving so much of our inner authority and our inner worth away to something external versus getting really grounded into like who it is that we are as a human and finding that as our value and that as our worth. And when we can drop into that, that's really where I feel like our confidence grows, but more importantly, our radical self-love, because we remember the wholeness of who we are versus the wholeness of what we think the world wants of us and society has put on us. And we come back to our true innate value.
Yeah. Yeah, like what you said made me think like of just my journey these last few months. It's like, you know, I want to be able to lead well, but I also get to love myself first.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, I can't love those around me like I should.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. Like it always starts with here, right? But then I also think about when I get in that like that lump or that frumpy vibe, where I'm like, meh, like I'm super sad or pouty that day. I like one of my best fill me up cups is to go and like hold the door open or do something nice to someone else. And there's something in that contribution and being connected to others. It's that generosity that's like, oh God, like it reminds you that it's definitely a selfish come from and reflection, but it's like, oh, it reminds you that like you do matter and that you can create impact in the world. And sometimes the most impactful thing you can do is just to smile at someone. I'm getting this memory of homeless people. I don't always give money to homeless people, but the one thing I always really try to be connected into doing is I stop and I look them in the eyes and I smile. And I've had multiple people that have homeless come up to me and they say, thank you for seeing me today. Like, thank you for just knowing that I exist and acknowledging that I'm here. And it just makes me realize like how many times people just walk by them and ignore them. And it's like, God, like something as simple as like eye contact and a hello could be the biggest gift that we give to someone. And I feel like oftentimes we get sad or depressed because we don't think that we matter and we've lost that we can be contributing members in society. And when we get out of like how it should look and we just get back to the simplicity and the basic of my heart is saying hello to your heart because you're another human on this earth and we both coexist, like we don't understand like the depth of the value that that can bring to someone's heart, and it's filling on both cups.
Yeah, because we don't always know what the person next to us or we're passing, like what they're going through. And sometimes even that just simple hello or smile, like,
Mhm.
just makes a difference that we wouldn't even know like that was possible or even, yeah, that we just wouldn't know about.
Yeah, I mean, think about how many people, like I just went to the doctors yesterday and the only medical form they had me fill out was basically a mental health form. And I wasn't going in for mental health, I was just going for a routine checkup. And I asked the nurse, I was like, is this for people that are suicidal? And she said, yes. And I was like, how often do you get this in here? And she's like, you would be surprised how many people are struggling with this every single day. And, I just even think about the concept of like evil versus good, right? And every time I look at it energetically, I'm like, all evil is just somebody who forgot that they were loved, or it's just an absence of love, and they've just lost that light, and because they've lost that light, they go into the dark side, or they just feel heavy and dark. And when you can just bring that like one little like glimmer of hope of just unconditional love, of just that simple hi, it just sparks something back in them that reminds them that they matter.
Mm.
And then that, like weaving it back into confidence, it gives them that breath of like, even if it's a split second of like confidence, like, wow, I can do this world again, even if it's for the next hour or the next day.
Mm. How important do you think role models are in boosting women's confidence?
Mm. Yeah, there's so many different versions of role models, right?
Hmm.
Like we could go from one extreme, like Trump, to like spiritual mentors, to like leaders and trainers, to coaches. And then you could go even as like simple and pure as a child, right? Like being a mom has been my biggest like opportunity of a role model, because it's like I'm getting to see life through her eyes, through all the ages that she grew up again. And in one sense, it's like that's a role model, because I get to see the innocence of like, oh my gosh, she saw a rainbow for the first time today. Where it's like, God, like, to me, it's like the role model is just about like showing you something that you've never seen before, or showing you a way of being, like how they're connecting with the world, how they're engaging, where it's like, God, I've never seen someone interact that way. Like, I really value that. And it gives you like a mile marker, like a goalpost of like, wow, that is attainable, because you can feel it in your body, and you can capture that essence, which then allows you to embody it. So I feel like role models are really important, because they show you things that you've never seen before, and they remind you that the what feels limited is actually limitless and possible.
Yeah, I've definitely been experiencing that in my life these past few months. Just seeing what's possible, like, because my understanding and is down here, and then like just having the like people around me in my life surrounding me, it's all like, oh wow, like just really expanding my knowledge and my wisdom and everything. It's like, oh wow, this I thought only this was possible, but it's so much more than that. And yeah, just being in the right community is everything.
Mm-hmm.
Because yeah, like it like they've been where you are, and like and can help guide you into or out of things that you didn't see, that they've already gone through, and then they can guide you through them. And it's just, yeah, it's really powerful.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah, it's super beneficial. And I mean, I kind of want to argue the contrary. Like, I've been in rooms where I'm like, this is not the room I want to sit in. And it just deepens my root of my inner confidence of where I really want to go.
Mm,
Where I'm like, wow, this is a really great learning lesson of what I don't want.
mm,
Right. But then
hmm.
it's super empowering and inspiring to be around people that are like doing that next level, because it raises your frequency. It's like if you're here and then somebody's here and you're wanting to like get there, without them, you're just kind of like winging it and figuring it out. But with them, you're like, oh my God, like it just allows you to like leapfrog and to like jump elevations to get there. Mm-hmm.
All right, so this is what advice would you give like young women who
Mm.
are just starting, like, to navigate their careers or personal lives in terms of building confidence?
Yeah. Well, I'm going to start with the body, because I feel like women, there's so much pressure on our bodies. And I'm going to share the one thing that my sister said to me when I was in middle school. I went through this phase where I started wearing like, I became a skater. So I started wearing really baggy clothes. And she said to me, and it's impacted my entire life still to this day. And she said, I wish I had your body for one day, because do you know what I would wear if I had your body? And in that moment, I just realized like how lucky I am to have this one body in this one lifetime. And like every day I'm allowed to walk, every day I'm like able to stand up and no matter what shape my body is, like it always provides for me. So, so it just, that's one thing I want to land is like how you choose to love your body is how your body is going to love you back. No matter like what shape or form, it's like, God, this is the one body you have. Like you get to love it no matter what it looks like. And then I think as far as career goes, my career is a little different because my career is based on the invisible and the unseen and the mystic. And as an entrepreneur, I've been an entrepreneur since I was like 24 years old. And as an entrepreneur, the one thing that I've had to have the most confidence is really trust, and it's trusting in the unknown. I've had to have very deep, deep roots in uncertainty of like I cannot tell you what tomorrow looks like. I just know that I'm excited and I'm committed to getting to tomorrow no matter what. And I just know it's going to work out. I don't know what it looks like, but I just know it's going to work out. And so I feel like grounding back into the frequency of confidence, it's like, how can you, like, where in your body do you get to relax into the trust? And sometimes it's as simple as like, I don't feel trust right now. And what does trust need from me or want from me so I can drop into the frequency of trust? And then the next, it's like, okay, now that I trust myself and know that no matter what I do, I have my own back and I can like, I'm capable and resilient and adaptable. But then, and I can persevere, but then it's actually, then it's like leaning and anchoring even deeper into the knowingness. Like, what do I know for fact energetically to be true? Like, do I know that no matter what choice I make tomorrow, I'm going to be okay? And it's like, yes, I do. Do I know that like spirit has my back no matter what? Yes, I do. Do I know that no matter what path I take, like I'm going to get to where I want? And it's like, yes. And that to me, it's like, there's a lot of trust fall and a lot of buoyancy. Like I'm just seeing like a trampoline that just kind of holds you. Like it's not like a still surface, but it moves with the ebbs and flow, and it just gives you that breath of encouragement when you're feeling the wobbles or the insecure. So I think to put it in a one big sentence, it's like, it's more of a question. It's like, how much can you actually believe in yourself? Because the more that you believe in yourself, the more that that is what's going to come true. My daughter's blow drying her hair. Can you hear it?
No.
Oh, that's great. It's like really loud on this side.
Yeah, I think it's the Zoom noise cancellation feature.
Perfect. Yeah. Any other questions?
Let's see. Do you have any like advice or like tips in like how to like actually like step into confidence like when in those moments like where you said like the wobbles come in?
Yeah, so I would go back to the Temple of Authority that I spoke about in the beginning, but just to add another tip, it sounds so cheesy, but this is something I've given my clients over and over again. That's like one of my favorite things to do. And it's so simple, but it's really uncomfortable for a lot of people. And it's actually to get in front of the mirror and look yourself in the eyes and just tell yourself all the things that you love about yourself. Because it's like everything starts, like our whole universe is like lives in our heart. And especially with like women, it's like we have the power to create a human being, right? Like we have the power to like create organs and hairs and toes without even knowing like the recipe to make it. Our body just innately knows how to birth this miracle into life that has a soul, that has a purpose, that has emotions and presence and love. So it's, yeah, I just think if you can use whatever love you put out in the world and give it back to yourself, like your cup just becomes overflowing from like as if it's like a reservoir, like a spring. Like instead of pouring water into the cup, the water comes from the earth up. So it's just like a fountain. Hmm.
Yeah. And I notice like in my own life, just whatever like I want to get out is like what I get to like give to the
Hmm.
world. And, because like for years I struggled with confidence and everything. And so like, my gift to women is to be able to like help them along on that journey of like confidence. And, in turn, like me actually speaking up, and being a stand for women gives me confidence as well because I'm now using my voice and
Hmm.
actually moving forward. Because like that's when I notice like whenever the doubts and like fears start swirling the most is whenever I'm sitting still. But whenever I'm like moving forward in vision, like the faster I move forward into vision, the fears and the worries like just disappear and fade into the background.
Hmm. Yeah, I heard a mentor say once that like confidence never comes after the first time you do it. It only comes after the second or third time. And so it's just like a humble reminder that it's like you're not going to be confident the first time you do it, but you get to be brave and courageous the first time you do it. And then confidence is built over time. Like I always feel and know that like the roadmap to confidence is through courage.
Mhm.
Like you have to have courage enough to try it in order to become confident.
It makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Wonderful. Well, I'm glad that this is your mission in the world and something that you find passionate about and that you are here to help women rise because I do see that collectively that there is an onset of males just like you that are here to lift the women up to help them be stronger and support their light in the world and their mission. So thank you for being one of those light workers in the world that are here for women.
Mhm. And thank you for being here.
Yeah, you're very welcome. Thank you.
Mhm. Yeah, this is the first time I'm doing anything like this, but scary in the beginning. And
Yeah.
as I move forward, like yeah, like my confidence and energy just keeps on moving, keeps increasing. And that's just yeah, like taking that leap is both scary and empowering at the same time. Because like there's always something that, we can always think in our minds. It's like, okay, it's like that's great to do. It's like, oh, but what? And then the doubts, like, oh, what would they think? And all the fears and everything. It's like, oh, maybe I shouldn't do that. But sometimes that one whisper is actually, like your life's calling and mission. And
Mhm.
even though it seems scary, and even in the beginning, like you get, it's like 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 people start speaking against you. It's like, oh man, it's like I knew this wasn't what I was supposed to be doing, but there will always be opposition to the mission, and that is actually is like the confirmation that you are in the right place is whenever the opposition comes, because yeah, like if everything is going. I don't want to say if it's going too smoothly, but like, there will always be opposition because, this world is just that's the way it is now. And there
Mhm.
will always be opposition to the calling. And
Yeah. Well, and I even think I love that. I love the where you're going with this too, because I just feel like that opposition is what actually gives you the girth, right? It's like what gives you the strength to know that, like, wait, I actually am capable of doing this. And then, as any good leader does, it then gives you the skill set of like, oh, I've overcome this obstacle. So then when your future clients have that obstacle, you can be like, oh, this is how you overcome it. So you can help them get to the other side.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and like just every time you move forward and do something, like, I'm learning, it's like, oh wow, that wasn't that bad. And it's like, and then the
Yeah.
next time it's just, it just becomes normal. And then the next thing, it seems scary. then, step into it. And then it's like, okay. And then that becomes normal. And then, like as you keep moving forward, like you can handle more and more. And it's just the beauty of it. Just, being able to be trusted with more as time goes on.
Mhm. Yeah, and you're able to trust yourself more with as time goes on. Because, and it's
Hmm.
also, it's like, how do you eat a pizza? Like, you don't swallow the whole pizza whole. You take it like one slice at a time, right? So it's like, why wouldn't you do that with your career? Like, you can see the whole pizza and where you're wanting to go. And it's like, okay, what's like the first slice, And then once you figure that out, then you get the second. Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot to it. And also I think especially in the career world, when you hit some of those obstacles, it's just spirit being like, are you really committed? Like, are you committed to figuring out how to do this? Great. And if you're not, then this path isn't for you. And if you are, you'll find your way back to that commitment. You'll find your way to get everything's figure outable. You'll find your way to figure it out to get to the other side.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, congratulations on doing a really big thing. This is so many learning curves, and you're in
Hmm.
like huge transformation currently in your life as well. So it's like you're getting like a highway speed route to like excellence, and it's just going to get
Hmm.
easier from here on out.
Yeah. Yeah, because even just putting this conference together, it's just like, like the first thing was nailing down the date, and then it's all like I feel like I need to have everything figured out, but like at the same time, like I was, like, sending out messages to speakers and figuring out all of the mechanics at the same time. Like
Mhm,
you don't always have to have it all figured out to move forward, just the next step. And then
mhm,
as you take that next step, the step after that appears, and you just keep taking that one step after the other. And
mhm,
that's what faith is just, acting on what's in front of you.
mhm,
Because, as humans, it's always easiest to like, man, I want to see the whole picture. But
mhm,
like, I was talking to somebody other day, and they were saying like, yeah, and even if you could see the whole picture, you wouldn't want to step into that because it's bigger. Because like each time I look at my mission and my calling, and like it just keeps getting bigger, and it's like, oh wow, and yeah, because like just being here in the first step, I can only handle so much. But then whenever I take the next step and be able to build that like mental muscle and like figurative muscle, and then being able to be trusted with the next piece and the next piece, and as you're
mhm,
saying, like being able to trust myself more and
mhm,
be able to handle more. Like the mission doesn't start as this huge thing. It always just starts as something small, and it just keeps growing like from a seed to like a big oak or something, a plant even larger than that.
mhm. Well, yeah, I mean, I feel like that's such the blessing of a calling. Um, we have a mutual friend, Travis, and he said to me the other day, he's like, Melissa, like you have the ability to like see somebody's seed, like their dream, and then you just blow it up. You're like, wow, that dream is so beautiful. Like, this is so magnificent. Now let's go here. Right. And like, that's like such the beauty of a calling is it's like spirit only gives you as much as you can handle and enough to make you grow. And then
Hmm.
it's like, okay, like once you've digested it and figured it out, then they're like, okay, now the next layer, the next layer. So it's like, and as like anybody who is following their path, like you're gonna hit these milestones where you're like, wow, I accomplished the thing. Like, what's next? Like, wow, I hit the top of my goal. Like, yeah, it's just a beautiful ladder you get to climb.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And I noticed like as I move forward and like talk about my vision, like it rallies people around me that I've never even saw coming. And then, now they're also, like right there with me and like helping me build this thing as well. And
Mm-hmm.
just like that power of community, because like when you use your voice, it repels probably a larger crowd, but it also attracts those who are for you.
Yes. Yeah, we're all about building that like synchronicity tribe, that synergy.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, because it feels uncomfortable that, like your message like repels people and, like you could easily take that as a sign as, oh yeah, this isn't what I'm supposed to be doing, but you also get to look at like who is attracted by what you're saying, because
Mm-hmm.
those are your people.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I think about my one friend, she goes viral all the time on socials, but one day once she posts really controversy stuff and there'll be people in her chat just like being mean or rude and she loves it because then it like then other people chime in and it creates all this argument and it just creates like she's like I'm just winning, like I'm just getting more viral so like I'm
That's
getting more publicity because
that's true.
like and she's like and I don't have to do anything because the other people in my community are in there doing the fight for me, so I'm just sitting back watching it. And I love that because I think so many people when they get to different stages in their career they don't want to not be liked. And
Hmm.
it's like, man, like to really stand for what you believe in, there's gonna be people that don't like it. And so it's like another opportunity to grow and like fall deeper in love with yourself and what you believe in.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, this has been an amazing interview here. And Melissa, do you have a free gift you want to share with everybody?
Yeah, so being a psychic medium and a trainer, I love teaching people how to follow their own path and to step into their own gifts. But I really feel like one of the first points of access to that is really understanding how sensitive you are. So, my free gift for anybody who really wants to start to learn this part of yourself is I have a little mini recorded class that's all about 3 tools for highly sensitive people. So you can start learning how to work with your empathic self so you can gain more control and more discernment, but also just a deeper understanding of what's happening with you energetically. And so I'll give a link over to you so you can share that out to the community that's here watching with us today.
All right, sounds great.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Melissa.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, that's it, you guys, and I will catch you on the next interview. Bye, ladies.
Bye.